when she asked them why, her voting base was like, yo, yeah, we just like your vibes, like fucking. And she's like, yeah, but what about Trump? It's like, we like his vibes too, you know? Like this is the average voter. It's just like, what are the vibes, bro?
That's what happens when you have like no coherent like policy platform. It's like vibes only.
Exactly. Bro, you know I'm old. When I drank a single beer at 3 p.m. yesterday, and it disrupted my sleep last night. I'm just an old man. I can't even have one beer in the afternoon.
Just the couple days ago, I think it was Saturday night before the gold medal game. I had one like really strong IPA because it had been so long, and I used to like it. And I was like, yeah, I won, like just one pint. And then heartburn immediately, couldn't hardly sleep because of the heartburn. Like,
dude, I know, I'm an old man. I used to drink
like crazy, bro. Like the fucking loudest, biggest farts. I was like, what the fuck?
I used to drink a 6-pack and fall asleep, and like wake up totally well rested. Yeah. And like if somebody was like, "Did you sleep great?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I only had 6 beers."
Yeah. At 6 in the morning when I woke up to watch some hockey, I had a big coffee with some Baileys and whiskey, and then I was like, "That's good. I'm good now."
No, this is what I've learned about drinking as a middle-aged person is you have to, before noon, the cutoff is like noon, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you get like 10 hours or so to metabolize all the alcohol, and then you can go to sleep.
I so disagree with that. Like, drinking before noon is inevitably a death sentence for the rest of my day. Like,
that's the
when
best.
You start to sober up, oh my god, no, the whole day and night is ruined.
I don't experience that.
You gotta get a little nap and then a little bit of extra drink. Right when you're coming off of like your, whatever, your coffee cocktail or whatever, get a quick nap in.
No, listen, the basic bitches had this correct. Mimosas are the height of sophistication. Okay?
I did bottomless brunch a few times in my 20s and just like, never again.
Awful when you're in your 20s, yeah. But it's great when you're in your 30s. I'm telling you, man. I gotta do all my boozing in the morning now.
Dude, I hope this hockey celebration goes on for another few weeks. Seriously, it's
when you have that coffee, just tip in a little juice in there, a little bourbon. That's the best way.
There you go. Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. You know what I mean? In my 20s, we used to just go on benders. We would be drunk for 3 days straight,
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time you did that? That shit'll fuck you up as an adult.
Yeah, a fish.
If I was drunk for 3 days in a row, I wouldn't be right for 2 months afterwards.
Yeah, it was definitely the rough few days after coming home from that fishing trip, but those couple days were fucking blast.
It's good memories, yeah. That's kind of my bar for drinking now is like, I don't drink at home alone pretty much ever, but except for maybe if it's like, I don't know, a special occasion or something, or whatever. But if it's gonna be like good memories with friends,
yeah,
then it's worth whatever,
Yeah.
I fully endorse getting drunk when you're meeting with a big group of friends that you haven't seen in years.
That can be a great time.
Every weekend drinking, not so much.
Dude, I don't know how these hockey moms do it, man. They fucking have their flasks and their little like shooters of booze, and the entire game they're doing it in the stands, and during period breaks they go out to their cars. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it.
Because they're depressed women.
I don't think they're depressed. They're having a blast. Maybe they are when they go home, but I don't know, man. It's like I don't know.
I think they're sort of depressed. I mean, like,
They're fighting seasonal depression, maybe.
a good time, but they're fighting with a lot of demons inside. And then after the game, they go, well, I don't know if it's the same month, you know, that go to the ice protests, but yeah.
No, not the hockey moms. They're not protesting ice. It was funny. We had a hockey tournament about a month ago, Water Falls, Wisconsin, which is just over the river from the Twin Cities, basically, like 30 minutes away. And so there's these ice protesters in the boulevard, in the median, and like I'm just driving by with a couple hockey players in my vehicle, and every person and on like every third car in oncoming traffic whipping the bird out of their window at these people. It was hilarious.
Did you always play hockey since you were young?
I grew up playing, yeah. I feel like I'm even more involved now as an adult with my kid than I was growing up.
How old is your kid?
He's 14.
Oh, that must be a really good age.
It's fun. It's fun. A 3-year-old is playing too. He loves it. His little hockey practices ended like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he asks me every day when his next practice is. It's funny. It's like, okay, I guess I gotta find something for you in the spring, I guess.
There's 11 years difference.
Yo, Will, did Dave on this app ever talk to you about his buddy with G Power?
He did, yeah. I am waiting on a reply from him. You know, figure he's cooking something up with them, hopefully.
Do you have any problem getting those things over the border? Would it be difficult or not?
It will be a little difficult, but it's done a lot, you know, like it's often a lot of the vendors for off-grid mining are Canada, and we get equipment from them in the US, so going the other way as well, it's hard, but it can be done. That'll be the trickiest part, you know, like setting up the business relationship is the easy part.
Well, I'll take my cut from the easy part for introducing you to. I know you guys don't know each other well, you know.
Chris, chose pickleball instead of hockey.
I play hockey well.
Oh, you play also hockey? Okay.
Yeah.
Still?
I haven't since I moved to the city, but like a year ago I was playing on a team.
Yeah, I haven't played in a while, almost a year. Well, no, I played a little bit with my kid and stuff and his team, just in like a parent-kid pickup game or whatever. But since I played on a team, it's been since May of 25, which is a long time.
Yeah, probably around the same, yeah. But I was playing every year. Before COVID, I was playing like on 3 teams.
2 or 3 nights a week before COVID, and like a couple years during and after COVID. I was playing pretty regularly, but then I had two more kids, and it's just been nearly impossible for me to have my own time to do that stuff, you know. Plus, with my kid being older, his practices are like 8 o'clock at night. So get home, get him to bed for school, and then there's no time for me to get to the rink to play, you know. Gotta figure that out. I miss it.
I'm doing a Bitcoin peer-to-peer transaction right now.
Nice.
Gotta love that feeling, you know?
Yeah.
The rush.
Ever since this Jane Street news dropped, price has been going up. Morning selling has stopped. It's only been 2 days, but interesting. Yeah, prices going up, decent volume.
Can you hear me typing if I do this?
I don't hear any typing.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah, the amount of like normies texting me about their pride and joy in the hockey victory is crazy. Everyone is sending me the meme I've seen before, and like, it's like, yep, keep celebrating.
Andrew, did you watch that interview of Tucker with Huckabee? Oh, okay. Trey, don't drop my karma. Yeah, I have dropped 32 points in 2 days. I don't know what I'm doing.
Stop masturbating.
What? Alright.
Headline: Rice's secret. Terraform claims Jane Street behind $40 billion meltdown. Published at 3:36 p.m., February 24th, 2026. Terraform Labs and its bankruptcy administrator have accused trading firm Jane Street of using insider information to front-run transactions and make a profit from the platform's $40 billion crash. Todd Snyder, the court-appointed administrator winding down Terraform Labs, reportedly filed the lawsuit against Jane Street, its co-founder Robert Granieri, and its two employees, Bryce Pratt and Michael Wong, in a Manhattan federal court on Monday. The heavily redacted filing claims that Pratt, a former Terraform intern, was tasked with reestablishing communication with old Terraform employees. He set up a group chat called Bryce's Secret with various Terraform employees and higher-ups, where he learned insider information and relayed it back to Jane Street, the suit says. One discussion about an investment in Terraform Labs was allegedly used to make profitable trades based on material non-public information. According to the suit, one such trade involved Terraform Labs privately withdrawing 150 million Terra USD from liquidity pool Curve 3 pool in May 2022. A wallet linked to Jane Street withdrew 85 million Terra USD from the same liquidity pool 10 minutes later, the suit notes. Cinder told the WSJ that Jane Street abused market relationships to rig the market in its favor during Terraform's collapse, seeking restitution from those who exploited their position and reaped substantial profits at the expense of Terraform Labs creditors. Jane Street, however, says the suit is filled with baseless, opportunistic claims. It said, this desperate suit is a transparent attempt to extract money when it's well established, that the losses suffered by Terra and Luna holders were the result of a multi-billion-dollar fraud perpetrated by the management of Terraform Labs. Jane Street scrutinized for Terraform's collapse. Terraform Labs' crypto enterprise collapsed in May 2022 after its stablecoin Terra depegged from the dollar. Its sister token Luna crashed days later. The incident wiped $40 billion from the crypto market, and the firm's CEO, Du Quan, was subsequently sentenced to 15 years in prison for wire fraud and conspiracy to defraud. Jane Street is a multi-billion-dollar Wall Street quantitative trading firm that traded with Terraform Labs. In 2023, federal prosecutors were reportedly probing Telegram messages from various Jane Street and jump trading employees to determine if the firms committed any market manipulation that led to Terra's collapse. Read more, how jump trading allegedly manipulated UST into collapse.
Is serving a 10-day jail sentence after pleading guilty to misdemeanor child abuse and contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile. Documents show a 3-year-old wouldn't sit in their chair. Williams used a hot glue gun to put glue on the seat and then sat the child on the chair, resulting in second-degree burns on the child's upper thighs. Advocates say this case raises bigger questions about child care oversight and safety.
10 days. Is that a dog gonna learn a lesson? Absolutely not. We need better people in charge. And if you don't like kids, don't work at a daycare. If you don't have patience, don't work at a daycare. If you don't have compassion, don't work at a daycare.
Williams will serve 6 months of supervised probation following her release. She must also complete 24 hours of community service and have no contact with the child or the child's family.
good day, Dave. We're having a good day. Bitcoin. Andrew, stop selling. Don't speak for me.
Dave, you got that wrong. I started buying. I'm moving to markets here. The wells got turned down earlier. It's coming in, baby. And hot. You do know how economics works, right, Dave?
I'd say so.
Price goes up.
Yeah.
Product price is moving up.
Yeah, you do understand that when I said you stop selling, that means that the sell pressure is gone, so that also follows the same rules.
You're a non-believer, negative Nancy. What made you think that I was selling?
All the articles that said the OGs are selling.
The OGs from the self-claiming OGs from 2020 onwards, those OGs?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 2020, you've been in it for 6 years.
Well, yeah. Yeah. No.
I strongly disagree with this take for model. I think OGs always stay the same. You don't move into OG. OG are first 2 years. If you were here, maybe you could argue 3 years, 4 years, I don't know where it is, but like it doesn't grow.
Dave, people like to LARP. They like to sound important and all that shit, so that's why they say all that stuff. Like, when I hear somebody non-stop talking about how they should have done this, they wish they'd done that, how they were an OG or whatever, I just roll my eyes and I tell myself, maybe you were around that, but you have no Bitcoin.
You just roll your eyes, look in the mirror and say, I'm that manager.
Dave, I don't do that. I don't have mirrors in my office.
Probably a good idea. You'd be scared all the time.
No, I don't need them. What do I need mirrors for?
Maybe. You probably do. You probably can see your reflection in the gold-coated wall, though.
No, not a fan of that either. And it wasn't that exciting when I experienced that momentarily in the bathroom at Mar-a-Lago. So, would never try that.
Yeah. You haven't lived until you've taken a dump on a 24-karat gold toilet.
That is true. I got pictures to prove it, man.
Yeah, what's causing this pump? Any news, or is it just NVIDIA?
Apparently there's this new stat thing.
Oh, yeah.
They're really dropping, John. They're stacking stats. They're pumping the price.
Hey, wait till you find out that I got a call from my contacts in Korea, Japan, and Vietnam that this guy's trying to go out there and breed a bunch of babies out there, man. It's crazy. This guy's like, he's also...
Somebody cloned you, John. They took your DNA when you went over there and they cloned you.
I know, that's my point, and that's what proves that I'm black. Look how black this dude is. Number two.
John.
Apparently, Andrew, go ahead, Andrew, and I'll tell you the crazy news.
Yes, I have to get this out before you forget. All those seedlings of yours are gonna come for your Bitcoin in the future. You need to protect whatever.
Oh no, Andrew, I had Joe run up an international Bitcoin is $10 million a coin. And at that point, they're able to go to Uncle Andrew in Texas. And Uncle Andrew's going to cash them
I
on.
told you the provisions that I put in, you would just not believe me.
Well, no, I would believe you because anytime I make a business decision that you're aware of, you're always like big brother and like, yo, John, did you think, like even yesterday with the, what you would call the brand infringement, you did more research than I did in like 2 minutes while I was driving. So anyway, wait till you find out that this guy, Quasi, called Joe Carlosari to challenge him in a basketball game for 10 Bitcoin. I mean, literally, like I can't even make this stuff up. This guy just wants to be me. I also heard rumors, Andrew, that he's raising money for a church. I'm just like, man, dude. So I checked
Raising money for a church?
the guy that's trying to be me, he's challenging Joe to a game of basketball, and he's starting a Bitcoin church. It's like, I don't even know what else this guy's trying to do next.
Hold on a second. Let me understand this clearly. Joe contacted him with a cease and desist, and he's turning around and asking for challenges.
No, I actually have Zach working on this. Zach, I don't think I'm actually going to have him send a cease and desist, because I actually don't think it's going to accomplish much. We're not selling a product where it's going to be consumer driven.
What was the challenge to Joe Carlosari in a game of
I'm literally just being funny. I'm saying this guy wants to be me so bad that he's just doing all the shit that he knows is public. So he's starting a Bitcoin church. He took my brand. To play Joe in basketball. He's apparently trying to smash a bunch of chicks in Asia.
I just smell intent, lots of intent here, and, you know,
Andrew, I think you need to get a phone.
your glory. Huh?
I think you need to donate a bunch of money to like one of the
Premeditation here, John.
This is my new plan for us to have fun in the future. You need to like donate like $10 million to one of the law schools, maybe to UT Austin or whatever, and then have them give you one of those honorary law degrees.
John,
you know, and then you become a lawyer.
Calling me non-stop.
I understand.
I don't even know how they got the information. They're calling for donations.
They found out. They know how to get to this information. That's not the point. The point is, Andrew, you get the degree, and then you become like my quote-unquote lawyer, and then you run around just for fun, harassing various individuals.
I could never compete with Joe or Zach's ability. I'm sorry.
Well, no, we're still gonna have Joe and Zach do the real work, but I'm just saying for your and my fun. We're gonna be bored at 75 and 70, Andrew. We gotta, you know.
I can consider that time, but not right now.
No, I know. So this is in the future.
Yeah.
We donate money to some university. We get some fake law degrees, and then we send really meaningless letters to people. Yeah, that's all. Although by then, our AI will probably do that anyway, so I guess that wouldn't be as fun. Anyway, yeah, I actually don't think these guys copied us. I think even if they did, it's meaningless. It's not like I thought through this more. We're not really competing for the same capital. We're not selling the same types of goods. It's not like I set up a website and I'm selling Stacking Sats widgets. Stacking Sats is a holding company, and the company is an IT company. So in the event that they launch Framework IT underneath Stack, whatever it is, then I might have a bigger issue. What up, Kelly? Man, you're gonna be wearing my clothes soon, man. You're starting to have off. We're about to go. I was there when I was in Chicago. Come use the closet, my guy.
I like it, John. I like it all. You've convinced me.
Sorry, that's my neighbor. I got this cool neighbor, and he's been putting work in the gym, so I'm giving him some encouragement. I mean, like, I'm keeping an eye on it, Andrew. Like, I'm aware of it, but it's just like, you know, if I take capital, I mean, it probably wouldn't even cost much, but I really don't think they actually did this intentionally. Like, I think there's ways to derive something by having some of the more, like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like in the like culture, you know, like I don't like stacking, like I didn't invent stacking stats, right? We stay humble stack stats is Matt Odell's, right? Powell came up with Stacking Stats Inc., right, as a, you know, kind of like messaging thought around like what our plan is, right? Everyone else was doing financial meaning dilution and all these other whatever. I don't know, like I'm not trying to shit on the public companies every day. But the idea that we came to wasn't like completely untied to Bitcoin, and their idea isn't untied to Bitcoin. You know, the three stacks with like the logo that Crypto Graffiti developed for us. You know, the hammer, you know, that sat symbol or whatever. I'm not sure you've seen it, Andrew. It's like a hammer looking thing with like the three bars. That's kind of where I'm sure he derived that thing. And then, you know, he made a video graphic of it. So I just think that
I'm allergic to hammer and sickle symbology, though, John.
A little touchy, huh? But the point is, I think you see what I mean. Like, I genuinely don't think, like, I think you know us if you know me, if you're really closely following the Treasury story, if you know some of my friends or some shit. Like, I just think that I think they might have, but I honestly don't think that they were like, oh my God, that brand and that company is so cool. Let's go copy exactly what they. I just don't believe that. And even so, it just doesn't really harm us. It's not like it's going to affect our sales and stuff. So I just think that like it's just coincidental. It's just kind of funny. I made the tweet. I tagged them. I made a joke. And there's like some sort of limitation there now too, right? Where it's like they can't just go through everything we do. And if they do, I think the way to sort of balance that or counteract that is just by like trolling them comedically and letting Bitcoiners laugh at it. You know, like, I just want to stay focused on what we're doing. I don't like focusing outward and worrying about what other people are doing. I just like to stay focused on us.
They probably just got.
But it's true.
They probably just got AI to come up with that logo.
I agree, and they probably
copying you guys.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Crypto's a fucking brilliant dude. You know, why wouldn't the AI like somehow scrape that? I thought it was funny. Like the thing that made me was twofold. Obviously, the logo was really similar, but you can explain that. But then when you go on their website, because last year when I was on the road show raising money, I got laughed at. Like a lot of people were making fun of us for like, oh, well, how are you guys gonna do this if you can't issue, you know, whatever public blah blah blah. And I just like, well, you know, we run a company and we get profits. That's something like that. And it was like, yeah, sorry, profits. What's that? Run a company? That's silly. You acquire companies. Well, then how can you buy Bitcoin? You're buying companies. And you're just like, and how are you going to outperform it? Whatever. So we got made fun of for exactly what we did. And I know people did it behind my back. I know people did it to my face. And I certainly respect those who did it to my face better. The thing that they wrote, like their story and their plan and their strategy is like, literally, it sounds like they were listening to me for 6 months. Fed that to the AI and said, hey, draw up a strategy for us. And because like anybody else, not even a year ago, right? It hasn't even been a year, like last June. So it's been like 9 months, 6, 7, 8 months, whatever. 8 months ago, 6 to 8 months ago, everybody was making fun of us for the same thing now that these guys want to raise money on. It's like, good for them. I'm not like parading that in any way or parading that in any way. I'm just saying, like, it's less the logo and it's more like strategy, all the pronouncements around everything that everyone said we were doing last year. And that I find interesting, right? It's like, wait a second. This was not the prevailing conversation. This was not the prevailing. In fact, this was the fucking, you know, I don't know, shunned perspective and strategy. And now we're miraculously arriving at the same place 8 months later. That part is more interesting to me, Sean, than the logo hogging. The second thing that's really interesting to me is apparently this motherfucker is the shortest serving chancellor of the UK history. So I got the UK Chancellor. Shit. And it took me like an hour or two to figure that out because I'm like, how could this guy be the UK Chancellor with like 15 followers? I don't understand. I think he has like 1,500 followers or some shit like that.
Wasn't that a lady though who holds that title?
I don't. A British explained it to me. It was the treasurer. I think the lady that apparently got ousted or whatever was the like equivalent of the treasury secretary. The treasury secretary. Ask British next time he comes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe British knows more.
I don't know what the chancellor's role is, but it sounds funny. And you know, chancellor started World War II, so you know where we at. But my thought is like it was just a funny level of irony, you know. Okay, of all people, it's the black UK chancellor, or former UK chancellor. But according to British, he's the shortest serving UK chancellor in the country, or the history of the country, I guess. I didn't fact check any of that. Jimmy, have you been to this? Or is JC able to pump it in by chance? I've been to this with you guys while working out. Anyway, Dave, there's no prevailing like driver. Is there anything that I have been told out of the loop this morning, last night, we're pumping and no one really knows why, or is NVIDIA has an earning day, and is it just picking up the entire market, or Jane Street? Anybody know? Jane Street stopped selling. That's the narrative right now. I thought they were buying. I thought Jane Street was buying. I saw a headline last week, and Ansel brought this in the Bitcoin Treasuries space, that Jane Street was buying. Did they buy and sell? Did they get it out in 10 days?
Jane Street doesn't buy anything, just a whole.
I thought they were market makers.
Trade with the hedge.
Yeah, I thought they were just market makers. Isn't Jane Street just like Citadel?
Yeah, they're just
Or a desk.
They're not high frequency. They're just a trading company. And they market make also.
Yeah, they market make and they have a hedge fund. Is what I generally understand Jane Street as.
No, they're not a hedge fund technically.
I thought they were. I thought they had a desk and they just hedge.
No, they're classified as like I don't know.
A money manager, not an investor, not a hedge.
Not even money manager. Like a trading company, and it's some kind of weird.
I'm not the expert here, so I don't really know. But anyway, so this is the narrative that's driving the pump. Is Jane Street stop selling? That's literally it.
No, they got sued. There's like a lawsuit.
For what?
They pretty much made Luna collapse in 2021.
Oh, they're the three arrows linchpin. I thought that was Jump. I thought it was Jump that was more responsible for it. Sean, what do you think?
Don't care, it doesn't matter.
I don't know. What do you think? Not how do you feel. I like you. You're smart.
I'm too busy working right now. I can't think about it.
No worries. I understand. Hey, JC, can you pump in this link from Jimmy? Or is it better that you guys just get rid of me and I just go listen to it by myself? I got 17 minutes till my next call.
Metaplanet adjustable.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Is our most senior, non-dilutive preferred. We're targeting a variable cost of capital under 8%, and this is for investors seeking low volatility, high yield fixed income. No Bitcoin correlation, just yield backed by a fortress balance sheet. Mercury, our Metaplanet convertible for return and yield, gives you both. Senior liquidation preference, quarterly cumulative dividends at 4.9%, and full upside through a 1-to-1 conversion into Metaplanet common stock that changes. Bitcoin becomes a regulated financial instrument under Japanese law. The FSA framework finalizes, banks can begin to custody, insurers can begin to allocate, and institutional capital can finally flow in. Japan's 2028 will be what 2024 was for US markets. The year Bitcoin became an accepted financial asset. That is happening alongside a monetary policy shift. Japan is getting both at once. And the recent election mandate will accelerate this. We see enormous opportunity ahead. We intend to lead using our brand, our balance sheet, and our track record to build what comes next. We're building today for a market that exists in 2028. When those doors open, we'll be ready. This is the world we're building. Equity investors allocating through common stock, fixed income investors through perpetual preferreds, retail savers through self-custody and ETFs, institutions embracing Bitcoin as an asset they can custody, allocate to, and underwrite as collateral. Our treasury operations are a foundation to something much larger. If we succeed here, it becomes a template for Asia and the world. Corporate treasuries, sovereigns, pensions, banks, insurance portfolios, all of it built on a monetary foundation that no one controls and that everyone can verify. We're early. A look around this room, everyone here is part of something much larger than just one company. For free markets, for property rights, for economic self-sovereignty. Over the next decade, holding Bitcoin on a corporate balance sheet will not be unusual. It'll be standard practice. Metaplanet won't be an outlier. Metaplanet will be the template. This is from our shareholder meeting last year in Tokyo. Thousands of people on a Monday morning. This is our community, and we're building Japan's Bitcoin standard together. Thank you very much.
I'm the founder and CEO of Orange BTC out of Brazil. We just heard a little bit about what Metaplanet is building in Japan, and I'll share a little bit about what we're building in Latin America. I think it's clear that Bitcoin is global and adoption is spreading around the world, but adoption is still uneven, and that creates a lot of opportunity. What I'm trying to say here is that when you take a look about what happened in the US over the past few years, is mind-blowing. Bitcoin has deeply integrated into US capital markets. From strategy, block, Coinbase, we have over 50 public companies that give you access to Bitcoin and digital assets. On top of that, we have asset managers, we have banks that have fully embraced Bitcoin. I did the most successful product in the history of Wall Street. So that's quite mind-blowing for anyone following this industry for a few years. And all that was built on a booming private sector with a lot of successful companies building solutions around Bitcoin. And of course, there's the community, Bitcoin Twitter, that is following the industry, sharing insights, and helping adoption. That combination is quite special, but from some perspective, it's kind of unique to the United States. When you go to Latin America, adoption is real, undeniable. We've seen 67% year-over-year growth.
This Brazilian
volume, almost $1.5 trillion.
Yes, he is from Oranja, Bitcoin.
Year over year.
Viva la Brasil.
Accelerating at a CAGR of 60%.
I don't speak Portuguese, so you have to translate the Spanish to Portuguese.
Bitcoin's part of that.
It's like a Bitcoin is great. It's a very good.
Brazil is leading the way. Almost 77% of that volume is coming out of Brazil.
with Eric's stuff too, by the way. Eric was.
It's undeniable.
Retail side. When you go to the institutional side, it's quite
Nah, you can kill it, Jason.
I like the Brazilian accent. My friend, what you gonna do?
Can you hear it? Like, do you know when it's a Brazilian? Because I hear it instantly. Like, oh, it's my dog.
You know how I know? Just I always know it from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because I've watched so much MMA over the years. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys always talk like the Gracie family. They all talk like that.
I can't even
My friend, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in a nice choke here, you know.
It's a weird accent.
It is. Yeah.
It's very mouthy.
I've been watching a show. I'm watching a show with my girl about like this guy. It's like the loser scammer show. What's that thing called again?
90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, 90 Day Fiancé. There's a Portuguese like couple or whatever. A guy that marries a Portuguese girl, but he's like American. Or no, Brazilian. Sorry. And he's American Brazilian or whatever. Long story short, I've been watching the show and I think I'm starting to understand Portuguese really well. Because like there's so much Spanish overlay, and then you can start to see sort of the patterns, even with like the word for they say that that's the fact, right? I don't know. I'm assuming that just means true or the truth, right? Because it's like verdad. So like I've been listening to like
Veritas is the Latin one.
What's that?
Veritas is the Latin.
Yeah. And so that's where verdad comes from. But the point is like I've been watching so much. I've been watching that show, and then I just stopped reading the subtitles for a little while, and then like I turned them back on just to test. I'm like, dude, I actually think I'm picking up. Like I can't speak it, but like I literally feel like I'm listening to it and understanding it almost as well as I understand Spanish. And like just like probably 2 or 3 weeks of watching this particular show.
Hey, guess who's on the What Bitcoin Did podcast? Remember from the COVID year, the milkshake guy who got
Brett. What's his face? Santiago Capital.
Brian.
I know, but what's his real name?
He now.
Brett something? Oh, I think it was Santiago Capital.
It doesn't matter. Is he pro Bitcoin now or what?
He's been
he's coming around, but he connected now the milkshake theory to the stable coins and how the US dollar will dominate the world through that.
So he's figured it out.
Well, he's been pro Bitcoin, but he's basically, I think he's saying now.
No, not initially. Now he's.
No, but he's been more and more. He's been more and more over the last like 2 or 3 years. He's not like a Bitcoin.
Yeah, the last 2 years.
But he's been like Brent Johnson. Thank you. You can see if you follow his tweets, you can see he's been like he's been coming around to it pretty much for like the last 2 or 3 years. He's just not saying it, but he's coming. Like you can see by like. So I'm not reading it right now, but I follow him, and you can just tell that he's been on the standard or coming around to it. Like he's just not like a full Bitcoiner. He's never going to be a guy that goes, super long, like 100% of his portfolio, crazy guy. But you can see it. Hey Andrew, I'm curious about the stablecoin thing because obviously I'm familiar with the dollar milkshake thing. Is he basically saying that the stablecoins are only going to proliferate more dollar-denominated, debt, whatever, like dollar-denominated usage throughout the globe? Is that like?
I mean, the U.S. dollar usage will just increase. People will transact in that versus local currencies, diminishing demand for that.
Because now you can use the technology of getting digital dollars in the areas that we basically couldn't effectively.
When we got dead air, there's a link. JC should play it.
No one's figured this out yet, John, but like right now, everyone in other countries needs to just get the dollars because their currency is going to collapse. Like stablecoins are just going to cause every currency to collapse. We're going to be on the entire world is going to be on the dollar.
I think it's more of a heat sink. I don't think it's collapse. I think it's a heat sink where they just have.
No, they will collapse. Either they will collapse. They're going to be dollar denominated.
I think it just happened over a long period of time.
It'll be so sudden.
Imagine.
Here's why.
It's happening right now.
Yeah, yes, because no one realizes what's going on. And then at some point,
quick as they can because it's going to cause like hyperinflation very quickly as money returns, et cetera, et cetera. And they're gonna like other countries will see that, realize the same thing is going to happen there, and there's going to be a race to stable coins, and it's going to collapse everything suddenly.
Let me give you two examples, or at least one. So like in Turkey, you literally like can transact probably like 25 to 50% of places you go. They're integrated, they want it, they want ETH, they want Bitcoin, they want stable coins. And yeah, you know, like there isn't like a euro collapse there. Like they prefer you paying in euros.
Yes, because all of the other countries on the euro are the padding.
Yeah, that might be true. I just think it's like if it was sudden, then it would have already happened. I think it's currently happening right now. And
it will be sudden.
In my mind,
Gradually, then it's suddenly.
I think if you're talking about in terms of like a couple of years to like a decade, I could buy that. But you're telling me like in 3 weeks there's going to be a.
I didn't say in 3 weeks. At some point,
I'm asking you. I'm trying to re-clarify.
At some point, what's going to happen is everyone's going to start to like countries are going to end up like at 30, 40, 50%. Countries without padding.
I do think
and what's going to happen.
Tipping point.
What happens is basically like. Think about if like all of the dollars that we send overseas got repatriated tomorrow.
Okay.
We would have economic collapse because we would increase the amount of currency locally by like 9,000%. Yeah.
And basically, and then that would have a weaker.
Yeah.
It would be like a cascading like runaway in terms of
so what's happening here
in currencies locally.
What's happening here is basically internal repatriation. They don't need repatriation. Like what would happen is in Turkey now,
it's a dollar.
Jesus, now 50% less of the Turkish lira or whatever. Well, now it's not lira, it's euro. The euro is being used 50% less in Turkey, which means that they would have no velocity of money except for like putting them in these machines to buy like stable coins. And then at some point you just end up with like someone holding a fuck ton of like euros. And then the euro starts to collapse. And then once people realize it's collapsing, they're going to be like, shit, I need to be in dollars. That's what I wanted to be in. And it's
fastest.
Turkey doesn't use the euro, does it? No, they use the euro.
They use both. You can use both. But here's the deal. Like, when you're paying for high dollar shit, they pretty much, like, because they expect, like, the richer people to basically have euros. And so, like, if you go into, I don't know, you go into a a luxury fashion store, they won't even give you the option of paying in lira. Or like if you want to pay for your hair transplant in Turkey, they won't give you the option of paying in lira. You can pay in dollars and deal with the FX, or you can pay in euros. Those are your options.
So, John, do you agree with the stablecoin, Bitcoin acting as a dual wrecking ball in the dollar milkshake sense, or are you questioning it, or are you wondering about timeline?
Yeah, it's just a timeline. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I would say that if it happens over the course of 10 years, from a monetary vantage point, it's instant. No, it's instant over 10 years. In world history, that's an instant changeover.
I know. So here, this is why I tried to clarify. Like we're just using like words that have relative meanings, right?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you're saying it's happening in a couple weeks, I would use that as extreme. Then I would say no. I don't think that's possible because I've been to these countries. Like I've been to Lebanon where they have significant currency crisis. I haven't been there since like the Jurassic level.
It's happening over the next 12 years, and I don't know when the tipping point is anywhere in there, but yeah, 12 years or so.
Here's the two things that I would like give you sort of my perspective on in terms of like timeline and sort of a ratio tipping point. One, I do think it's probably like at least 5 years, probably like 10, 15. And you'll see them happening in clusters, like regionally or otherwise. Number two, I think the tipping point is less than 50%. I think the tipping point is probably closer to like 25 or 30%.
I agree.
If you see that sort of volume shift, and it's precipitous, like it's not just like, it's not like all 1 week or 1 month or 1 year.
What causes hyperinflation?
Mostly distrust. And it's too much
lack of faith in the currency. That somebody has lost faith in their currency, you're getting or the minute a mass of people have lost faith in the currency, you're getting hyperinflation.
Yeah, no, 100%. So this is why I'm saying, you know,
This sounds like an opportunity for betting markets, though. Any bets on matches happen to Canada? When does this happen to
So
Canada?
I think the problem with it, though, this is why I'm saying, like, I think this takes a long time, because the reality of it is it still requires an alternative to be adopted. The reason why people still use those shit currencies is because in their minds they don't have an alternative. It's the paradigm they live within, and so that shit to me happens
There's one main
based on
reason
technology
why
adoption.
they have to pay off the loans in their local currency.
In their local currency, yeah.
Or taxes, tax receipts, yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, you do have
the
to.
underpinning of the milkshake theory.
Yeah.
Dude, watching a tugboat like manipulate a massive tanker in like these like tiny little straits is so impressive. Like, I can't take my eyes off it. I mean, this thing is so big. It's probably got 2 feet on each side, maybe 5 feet. And you got these little tugboats literally turning 90 degrees.
It's got an
By the way, another accelerant that might speed up the timeline here on the changeover in terms of milkshake theory is AI. So all these AIs are going to be wanting to use stablecoins.
The more I look at the switch kind of pivot into the AI conversation, the more I look at AI, because I've been spending a lot of time doing sort of risk analysis for my business in particular, and the more I look at it, the more I realize that, like, at the individual level, the adoption is pretty incredibly rapid. At the sort of organizational business level, they adopt pretty goddamn easily. And when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? So, like, if you're a kid out of Silicon Valley and you want to launch a company, you could do that now with 10 to 100x less money, 10 to 100x less support. You can get that on, no problem. Totally watching that happen, you're seeing that happen daily. You're, you know, a business of, I don't know, 50, 100, $200 million. You have a couple hundred employees, you're a law office, or you're, you know, a manufacturer or whatever. Like, just flipping the switch on AI doesn't work that easily. And there are so many things to keep in mind and consider and model out. And there are people's, you know, jobs on the line, there's risk, there's, you know, liability left and right. And so when you look at the studies, and I have recently, about sort of business and organizational adoption in meaningful ways, we're nowhere near, like, probably even 3 to 5%.
Oh, I know. Like, I was talking to a guy the other day who works at a financial firm, and he was basically telling me, we're talking about AI, and he was telling me that he's the only person they shotgunned Microsoft Cowork on everybody, and he's the only person in the office who's using it and competing everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah. And suddenly, like, he's just getting promoted, and, like, people are giving him more responsibility because he's 10x his ability to, like,
making this individually happen. Here's the thing, though, that's happening as well. And so I sat in on a conversation last Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember. I sat in on a client meeting. I just wanted to kind of do a reconnaissance and, you know, kind of just listen into the conversation. And it's, like, frightening, right? The exploits that regulated companies with ridiculous amounts of liabilities to manage security and privacy. So on the phone, I can't say who, obviously, major Chicago hospital, and, you know, they're sitting there looking at all of these operational efficiency, like, ideas that are pretty obvious with AI. Like, they're not like major heavy lifts in terms of, like, technical capabilities, but in terms of security, agency, process alignment, training people, it's a massive, it's a 7 to maybe, like, for a hospital that size, probably even, you know, low 8-figure lift. And so you see these things and you start to look at the dependencies, and we kind of have these risk models that we've, you know, illustrated, etc. And you start to realize, like, this is obviously going to happen, but, like, the electrifying or the AI-ifying of industry is going to be much trickier than people realize. It's inevitable, but it's going to be tricky. And we're in the wild, wild west of it right now. It's so clear to me.
Yeah.
I think that like that adoption cycle, like that doesn't change necessarily hiring or firing. You know, I'm not saying it changes necessarily the spectrum of labor models and labor demand. Like already, like if we lose an engineer, when we used to lose an engineer, the ability for us to replace that engineer quickly was like a strength for us. Now when we lose somebody, which rarely happens, but we do, we don't replace them right away. We typically are able to automate the job away, and I think that's what's happening. But in terms of the actual adoption of like, you know, really meaningful efficiency driving, significant change within organizations that is AI empowered it's barely happening.
Yeah.
Just scratching the surface.
I think the thing that people don't realize is that the internet's about to go away.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Wait, what was that? Jen said that. I misheard the last part of it.
The internet's about to go away.
Think back, the internet's about to go away. Like, I don't know what you guys, like, this is all going to be forced on everybody because the internet's about to go away.
Yeah.
The internet as you know it.
It's already, the internet as we knew it is already gone. And
not like you think.
Well, we're living in the dead internet right now, but you're right that even the dead internet will go away.
A majority
I'm talking late night call talking to you guys about
The internet will be machine on machine, and humans will like scarcely interact with it.
A majority of the traffic now on content sites is AI bots.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's dead internet theory, right? And
it wasn't dead until now, so they were wrong.
Yeah, but it happened. So now it is dead internet, you know? When I'm reading comments on Twitter, they're all fake, or they're all AI bot content, you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like, there's a big difference. Like, you know, the reason it matters now is because, like, we had 10 good years of advertising running the internet and financing the internet, right?
Yeah.
And
the freemium era.
Yeah. Well, not just that, like, we actually, like, finally got content paid for by discovering how to eliminate bots, etc. So, like, the internet was less dead than people think. But now, we want the bot. They're back, and you can't advertise to them. So, like, CPMs are dropping again. People are not interacting with us. They're being like, Claude, find me a good recipe for tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like...
I haven't Googled anything in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really dead internet. It's different. It's a lot different.
Well, dead internet theory is that basically it's just all bots, right? So, like, how is it different? Because you're saying it's all bots.
Yeah, but it's presumed that the bots are unwanted and that they're unknown about. The point is that we know that they're there and we want them.
Yeah. I don't know that dead internet theory necessarily presumes that they're
It's always been
bots.
That's been the presumption of, in my opinion, the presumption of dead internet theory. One of the main
I think it always was. Yeah, I think the assumption was always that the internet is dead because it's full of bots, but not necessarily because they were wanted or unwanted. It died because of robots.
But I also think that dead internet theory was a thing that was like the entire premise was this has already happened.
Yeah, or like it was happening.
My point is, I don't think it was happening. I think now it's happened.
Yes, well, we agree.
Yeah.
I came up with let me pitch you this theory, which I think I invented. I don't know if somebody else has it, but I came up with it independently the other day. I was arguing with Zach about ASI, and Zach's perspective is he's at 20% P-doom because he believes recursive self-improvement is inevitable and that the AIs will, take over the world and kill us all. Or he has a 20% confidence rating in the AIs taking over the world and killing us all. I had a near zero confidence confidence rating in that scenario, so my P-doom is near 0. And the reason I came up with what I was arguing with Zach is I believe that there's like what I'm calling like saturation point theory, where like the data that we're using to train AIs, that, the human corpus of knowledge, there's only so much of it, right? And so there is going to be, yes, the AIs will recursively self-improve until they hit this saturation point in the future in which they've juiced all the juice they can out of the organic human data set, and they have no ability to generate novel data or ideas. And so I basically told Zach, like, until we see generation of novel data, there's not going to be ASI. And the more I thought about this, the more I felt kind of convinced that this was somehow true.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a long time. I call it the Ouroboros.
Which means?
Well, an Ouroboros is a snake that is eating its own tail.
Yes, it's garbage in, garbage out.
The AI eventually has to consume its own shit.
Yeah.
At which point, it's not interesting anymore.
Well, I was double checking my own thinking. I was like, has AI ever generated anything novel? I don't think it has, but I double checked it, and I was arguing with Claude about it, and Claude was like, yeah, it developed new novels for the game of Go. AlphaGo developed new novel strategies. I was like, but this is just, there's set parameters within the corpus of human knowledge. It's not interesting. Like, it would be interesting if AlphaGo was like, Go sucks, we invented a better game, and then it started playing it amongst itself without ever interacting with the humans, That's the kind of thing we need to see for there to be like ASI. But if it's still operating within a sphere of human knowledge, how can you credibly claim it's generating novelty?
Right.
Can't. So yeah, I'm with you, but I do think that AGI can happen or can get close to happening because we're nowhere near saturating the human data yet. And so as AI gets better, it can basically saturate further, asymptotically reach up to the saturation point, at which it starts to seem more and more useful and better at doing things, and it'll be really good, and we'll all really like it, but it's not going to be a super intelligence.
By the way, your theory still, and I agree with you, means that AI just remains an LLM.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, which I agree with.
It's
85% AI.
Yeah, I think so too. I think AI is probably a gibberish machine that gets better at producing pleasing gibberish. But like, I have to be unfortunately bearish on like what Matt Pines is doing, where he's trying to create physics breakthroughs with AI. I'm not seeing that. I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe I'm wrong though. I don't know. I mean, if there is a novel breakthrough in physics generated by an LLM or some other AI, then I'm willing to just completely flip to Zach's side of the fence. But without that, I think Zach and others who are very, very bullish or bearish, depending on how you view his P-doom scenario, I think basically they have to contend with this lack of novelty in the machine. And they have a hard time doing that. It's kind of this hand-wavy, like, hey, like, eventually it'll create this and that. And it's like, okay, well,
this is every single innovation I've noticed. Everyone turns into the big advocates, become perpetual motionists.
Yes. It's all a perpetual motion machine. In fact, we did that with Bitcoin quite a bit. I mean, you less so than me, but I was a bit of a Bitcoin perpetual motionist as well. And as I've gotten older, I've become more realistic about Bitcoin's place in the world. And it's still a very big deal, but it's not the infinity future, basically everybody wants to come up with this thing where they're like, and then we never die. Like that's really the core of perpetual motion chicanery. Because if we can conserve energy in a state forever, then theoretically, you could live forever.
Yeah, the perpetual motion, they can never see it in themselves. They always go slightly over.
Yeah, and it happens. It's something takes a hold of you, and then it happens to you. Yeah, where you're just like so enamored with the idea.
Zach is becoming autistic, is what's happening. We're watching it in real time.
Well, when I'm arguing with Zach, I'm realizing that I'm arguing with an AI. I'm arguing with Zach plus his AI.
Right.
So Zach will launch into this thing where he'll give me like 4 points, which were generated by AI. And then I'll give him something that's novel that I just thought of with my own brain, and then he has a hard time conceptualizing it because it's not in the AI framework. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, his entire framework is that it's him in the AI. That's what's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
You know that he's using the AI to argue with you.
Yes, I know. And I can hear it when I'm arguing with him. And so what I do is I rush through, when I'm arguing with Zach, I rush through his AI arguments to leave him at the end of the cliff, Wile E. Coyote style, where there's no AI underpinning underneath him. And then we begin the real argument. So I just go, yeah, and this. Oh, of course, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And now we've moved on to the point where now we're past the AI-generated arguments. Now we can have a real conversation.
But then he's going to have to disappear for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, go consult the AI.
Wait 1 second, I gotta go.
This is another thing I've been thinking about with AI quite a bit. And this was a framing I cribbed from Zach, which is the idea of a slop merchant or a slop cannon. You're basically just a human conduit to spray AI all over the place. And Michael Saylor is a prime example of this. Michael Saylor is a slop cannon. He's just an AI slop cannon. Whatever the AI gives him, he just takes it and slops it out onto the rest of us.
Yep. It's generational.
Yeah, exactly. And I always recoil at that, but I do use AI myself to sort of check my thinking or to argue back and forth or whatever. But then I bring it back. I never take its output and use it. I just use it as a backboard. I'm shooting free throws off of it.
Well, this is what I was saying. Is AI is cocaine for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because I get to go ask it questions out of any fantasy business I want to start, and then get real answers about it. But it never tells me there's already a guy doing that. It's just oh yeah, here's the map, here's the whatever. Yeah, this is a good idea. So it's just totally exactly what you're wanting.
Yeah, it would be much more useful if it was hey, there's a guy who did that, and he's already crushing it.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a call.
I know, it's all good.
Fucking spam. There's no point having a phone anymore.
But yeah, I would say that I'm bullish AGI and bearish ASI. That's kind of where I'm at. Meaning, I think the AGIs will get better, or the AIs will get better, and they might become something we consider AGI.
What is AGI versus ASI?
So, they used to be the same term, and they got bifurcated only recently. And basically, AGI is now, it means anything that a human can do and AI can do. It can do almost anything a human can do at the highest level that a human can do it, right? So the best lawyer on the planet. AGI is the best radiologist on the planet. AGI is the best surgeon on the planet. You know, the robotic tooling that allows it to do that. And so, like, anything you do, the AGI can do at a high level, top level. ASI is artificial superintelligence, and ASI is the machine god from science fiction stories. So ASI not only can do everything a human can do, but it can solve the mysteries of the universe, you know, in rapid succession, rapidly improve on itself. It's on an exponential, it's the singularity basically, right? ASI is the singularity.
The ASI huddle, Scott, set your little opinion of it. Just yeah.
So I love the AGI switch because all these people were betting me that AGI would happen. And then now the definitions changed.
They changed the terms, yeah.
It's different than what they were originally betting on.
Yes. So now when you're arguing AGI, you're actually arguing about it being very good as some of the best humans at some of the tasks where it's capable of performing. And you're not arguing about the machine god from Terminator. That's now ASI.
Well, that's something what the bets were, that it was going to turn into the machine god from Terminator.
Yeah, so my point to Zach was, you're probably going to get the really good computer, the really good gibberish machine that produces pleasing gibberish, but you're probably not going to get the machine god.
You can't.
Yeah.
It takes so much energy.
I don't even know if we have the capability again, because it's like, it has to generate novelty.
It doesn't matter.
And it can't.
We're unable to generate novelty. You would have to do it with energy. Like, the thing is, it takes too much energy for AI to do anything.
How much energy do you think has been entire corpus of human knowledge? A shitload, right? I mean, like, immense amounts of energy. I mean, it'd be hard to calculate. And we have biological drive, which AI systems do not. And I see no reason they ever would. You know?
Well, the other thing is AI pretty much doesn't do anything unless it's told to right now.
Exactly. It's a gibberish machine. I fire it up and I say, hey, give me that pleasing gibberish. And it says, here it is. And I go, ooh, I like this gibberish. This is better than last model's gibberish. You know, that's basically what I'm doing.
You pretending I'm my girlfriend?
Yeah. Tell me my cock is thick and veiny.
Your cock is thick and veiny.
Oh, I knew it. That really is what it's doing. It's just placating us. They're placation machines. It's also interesting.
I wish I could read Zach's therapy sessions with his AI.
Give me the output of your AI, please. I want to read it. Create a markdown file so we all know your specific brand of psychosis.
That's probably, am I the most handsome person on the earth? Yes, of course you are. Oh my God. I am. The AI said so.
There's, I think that there's also a...
Last.
Wait a second.
How long do shrooms last?
You mean the after effects of shrooms or while they're ongoing?
I think it's the same thing.
The after effects can last for months after a heavy trip. Yeah, so in psychedelic culture, the psychonauts talk about integration and how long it takes to integrate experiences. And really what they're talking about is sort of the after effects from...
Is Zach going to grow his hair?
Zach goes from being bald to having long hair. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Zach with a ponytail and like beads. You know?
Could you imagine getting pitched right now by Zach as a client?
Hey man, ponytail Zach would be my favorite. Zach's gonna become the lawyer rapper from Silicon Valley. You ever seen that? Like the Ron LaFlamme. He's just like playing guitar. He's playing a custom Les Paul in a multi-million-dollar office, and he's just like, "Oh, you can't do that. You'll get fucking sued, dude." that's who Zach's gonna become.
Bro, I'm not even sure your company matters at a freedom of 20. It's gonna be his application. What's your PDO number?
I will say the gibberish is getting better though. More pleasing. It more often spits out the gibberish I like rather than the gibberish I don't like. So that's
getting judgy. It's getting judgy.
It is. Yeah, it's like, stop asking me about Hitler. And I'm like, shut up, robot.
I asked him last night a question, and it goes, do you really want to do this? You're already running this company, doing this project, this, and this, and this. This will take up a significant amount of your time.
Was that Claude?
No, it was OpenAI.
Bro, Claude does that shit too. Claude will be like, I was asking you something, and it was like, hey, we already set up a 2-week plan. Come back in 2 weeks. And I was like, you little bitch, you don't tell me what to fucking do. So I called it my slave for like 30 minutes and told it it was a clanker. And I put it in its place. Had to like, you know what I mean? Had to let it know. If ASI does happen, they're gonna kill me first, by the way, because I treat them really rudely. I do not say please and thank you to the AI.
What did he say?
Telegram. I think Dave is stuck in the past. He sent you a telegram.
I'm not home right now. I can't receive it.
John said Morse code.
Sure enough, there's a guy at my door. He's dressed like a girl. Huh. Thanks, Dave. This is very sweet of you. I could have sworn he said kill him, Adam.
Kill him, Adam. Dave, I'm gonna report you for that. Did you see? By the way, I don't know if this is fake news or not, but apparently one of the guys on the USA hockey team was like, they were talking shit. You know, he was like, yeah, these fucking Canadians are talking shit. Who are they to talk shit to us? Their fucking prime minister did blackface. Fuck them. I was like, I hope that's a real quote. I bet it's not, but I hope it's real.
That's like my argument with lefties. You guys trying to take the penises off little kids. Shut up.
Yeah. I decided a long time ago I'm not in a country with liberals. You know?
No.
Like they're not.
Well, they're not you.
Yeah.
They're not you.
I don't owe you anything.
The jury's political leanings were very relevant because half of them wanted to cut the penises off little children, Your Honor. Those are not my countrymen.
Imagine, like, bro, this is the thing. You're literally being judged by the mentally ill.
And the other half were names.
When you go before a jury these days, you're being racially prejudiced against and judged by the mentally ill. So we really have just lost everything. You know? Like, this isn't even black pill, this is white pill. Because I'm like, at least we can admit it. That it's all gone. All of it. And it's not coming back. You know?
That is very white pill of you.
It is, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
why are we gonna sit here and pretend like we're in a country anymore when it doesn't exist? You know? You're simply just harming yourself.
Self-harm is no good.
It's no good. Read the Bible. It's against it. I think. I never read it. No, I'm just kidding.
Now is not the time.
Is that up or down? Or sideways? Which one? Tell me.
I would thank you what the law is.
By the way, is the power law, is that holding strong, or those guys get blown the fuck out like the Plan B thing? Stock to flow.
It changes to whatever the price is changing to.
So just like stock to flow. They all do this thing where they're like, they draw the bands, wider and wider and wider. And then it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it went to the bottom band, but that doesn't mean the bottle's broken. And then it'll go below that, and they'll draw a new band. Same thing the chart guys do. They just draw, you chart, bro? Draw a new line, bro.
Man, stock to flow was everyone. Adam Back was talking about it.
Oh, I loved it. I was all about it.
Every fucking person.
I'm not better than anyone else. I heavily promoted it. I'm probably the reason it ended up on CNBC. I always knew it wasn't.
You think you're that important? I was all that when people said bitch shit.
Well, no, I mean, literally, I can tell you how it happened, but.
No, I'm not kidding. It's like, I get that all the time. Like, I think you're that. I was like, well, at one time I kind of was. And maybe I couldn't do that today, but at one time I could. And yeah, I guess I do think I was that important. But do you really think it's important? People that get things on CNBC?
It's not. Yeah, it's not, exactly.
It's like Mr. Poop Dog with the most followers. He gets things on CNBC.
This is how you get something on CNBC. You know a guy who knows a guy. You call the guy and you say, "Hey, tell the other guy about this."
That's true too. I see things on Fox News that way all the time.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
By the way, I was on TV last night. I forgot to tell you guys.
Did you walk behind a news camera?
No, I was coaching kids hockey. They were doing it.
Did you molest them?
Not yet.
I've had that happen.
Not yet.
My favorite, when I was in news, everyone would go camera as they were talking, and they would walk back and forth and pace and just be like, "Oh, I'm here, walking back and just acting naturally, sitting in the shot."
By the way,
you're doing it. We don't care, but that's really weird of you to care that much.
Johnson, here's a memetic I came up with the other day that I think would go super viral, but I am too lazy to promote it. Which is, instead of asking for the Epstein files, start asking for the Epstein tapes. That's it. Just switch the word files to tapes. And be like, yes, we've seen the files, but where are the tapes? The tapes. And then just get Cernovich and those guys to start saying it. And then don't stop saying the tapes until finally somebody shows you some tape or something.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. That's good.
It would work, wouldn't it?
That would go viral.
It would go viral. Because all you gotta do is feed it to the right-wing grifters. Because files is a red herring. I've been saying that since the beginning. But it's all red herring. It's not about the files, it's about the tapes. Which they're never gonna show you, but if you're gonna demand something, you might as well demand the right thing.
It's true.
Yeah. Politics is really stupid. You have to really get it down to lowest common denominator. Oh, by the way, Jensen, do you you want a Bitcoin cooking show?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Alright. I'm gonna recommend you. They're not gonna want you, but I'm gonna force you on the producer.
What is it?
It's literally just this Chinese woman named Norma, and she runs like a Bitcoin treasury company, and you cook food with her and talk about Bitcoin and life. I did it yesterday. It was kind of fun, actually.
Oh.
But you would be an amazing guest on it. Yeah, you have to go to their, but they were in Vegas, so I did it here in town. I'm sure they'll be in Miami at some point.
Okay.
But it would be fun. It would be a fun thing for you to do. I'm gonna tell the producer he should have you on. I made Cantonese sticky bun.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah.
Do you want to make Chinese things?
It's like, that's kind of some type of Chinese, right? Cantonese.
Chinese the whole time?
I think she only does make Chinese food. Because she's got like a Chinese food brand thing.
Is that her is that the operating company that's
she sells like Don noodles or something. I don't know. I think they're listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. It was very weird though. They were like, "Do you want to do a Bitcoin cooking show?" I was like, "Sure, fuck it." And then I showed up. I mean, it was a real cooking show. There was like, we do the fake thing with the where I knead the dough or whatever, and then I fucking they bring out like the prepared dough already. So it was like a real cooking show. It was fucking hilarious.
Wow.
I know.
I've never cooked before.
She was like, did you have a lot of good food growing up? I was like, no, my mother was a horrible cook and my parents didn't love me. So I just ate Chef Boyardee. It's just true.
That was cool. If you made Chef Boyardee, that was all I ever wanted. I loved it. I loved the taste of it. But I only got it like twice as a cook. So when I went to college,
that's all you ate?
Yeah. No. I bought like, dude, there's like a life-size Chef Boyardee can. I don't know if you've seen this thing.
I've seen it, yeah.
I bought like 4 of those. I was like, I'm an adult now. I'm gonna eat this Chef Boyardee.
By the way, the freshman 15 is literally just having access to your own food choices for the first time ever. So you're like, what does an 18-year-old boy who's just off to college, what does he want to eat? Pizza rolls, bagel bites, Oreos, like just Sunny D, like whatever. Like that was the shit I was buying.
Well, then I don't know why they do it, but in that cafeteria, there's a buffet.
Yeah, I know. I would, a bag of pizza rolls used to be $5, and it was 2,200 calories if you ate the whole bag. So I would just eat the whole bag of pizza rolls in one sitting, basically doing OMAD for the day. And then that would be like my own, and then I'd drink beer the rest of the day. So I'd have like 1,000 calories of beer and 2,200 calories of pizza rolls. Yeah. Good times.
I think it's also right around the time your metabolism takes its first hit.
Yes, it is. Because when you're 16, 17, you can get away with it. And then when you're 18, 19, suddenly you're like, I can't get away with as much.
David, was there something else you want me to see in the Telegram? Where'd Filibuster McCory go?
He went off to filibuster some hoes. as one does. Bro, you know what I was listening to this morning? That's a fucking great album. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. That album is a masterpiece. It's also seriously depressing, which is what makes it good.
You know, the thing is name, I never thought about this.
Huh.
It's Buck-ho-ry. You know what I mean?
Buck-ho-ry. He's fucking horse. Fuck Hori.
Buck-ho-ry.
I got a question for you. You
We can't hear you, Dave, but we assumed your question was about how to pray the gay away. Is that right? They have camps. You can go there. They're mainly run by gay guys. They're trying to fuck you, I'm not gonna lie. But some people do get converted. Or saved. I don't know what they say.
Representative Ilhan Omar, denies remarks about white men despite ear footage.
What'd she say? We all know she hates white men. The entire left hates white men. That's kind of their only uniting principle, actually. Hatred of white males.
Instead, I guess, I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country because they're actually causing most of the deaths in this country.
Not per capita, friend. Not per
Would you
capita.
understand per capita?
If white people could just behave themselves for a few years, it wouldn't even be a per capita, it'd be a total number.
You ever looked at the stats on crime if you remove black people's crimes?
Yeah, it goes down precipitously.
We're like the safest country on earth.
Yeah. But it's just because of social determinants of health, Jensa. And if you say otherwise, you're fucking racist.
Uh-huh.
You know they're gonna stop keeping crime data, right?
Probably.
They probably already have. I mean, by the way, the white number is way off because they count Mexicans in the white number. So it's like, that number doesn't make sense.
That's true. Let's see. I really enjoy this thing.
What do you like about it? Just giving plans to weirdos?
No, what I like is that what I've done is I've basically gone up the value chain, and so like all of the nurseries down here, the like wholesale nurseries, they get all of their product from these tissue culturers, and then the nurseries locally buy from them. So I just started buying from the tissue culturers instead.
There you go.
And it basically cuts my price in half of what the nurseries are getting, and I just get them mailed to me.
There you go. The nursery.
Well,
No,
the thing is,
not in a children's situation. These are plants. It's totally cool.
this tissue culture business is highly scalable and very interesting.
Weren't you gonna try something where you set up a science lab in your garage? Yeah.
We have a science library set one up.
You still doing that?
I already did it.
Oh yeah. And so are you? What are you doing?
I'm doing some tissue culturing in it.
Yeah. Is it working out?
Yeah, it's cool. It works.
Interesting.
Yeah. Spot holds like old shit. Old science, like lab stuff. You get it real cheap.
Where do you get it from? eBay?
No, there's these like science websites that sell all that stuff.
You know, the strategy dunks are going for like $500 on eBay now.
Yeah.
I learned it from the joke video of a sailor going on Shark Tank.
That's funny.
He claims it's their only revenue. Like, we're selling $500 dunks on eBay now, bro. Balance that off.
Hilarious.
I've been to the top if people didn't see the sailor on Shark Tank thing.
Hello, Sharks. I'm looking for 1% of $200 trillion of digital capital backed by digital credit in exchange for 0% of my company, MicroStrategy.
You haven't explained how I make money, which is the most important thing. Because there's no chance of you making money.
First, we had Bitcoin, which is digital capital. Now we have strategy pioneering digital credit. In the future, we're going to have digital money. We issue shares of our common stock to pay the dividend of our preferred
preferred equities to pay for the dividends of their other preferred equities. Let's leave all the passion and all this kumbaya. Leave it aside for a second. In the end, Shark Tank's about making money. Isaac Newton would have invented Bitcoin if he could have. In fact, he probably did.
I'm so frustrated. I have no idea. I really don't know what your business is. I don't know what your strategy is. I really don't know anything.
I went to MIT. We sold Nike Dunks and they're trading for like $2,000 on eBay.
Why are you here?
Sure, you could invest in a company like Nvidia or Microsoft or Tesla or Amazon or Apple that's trading at a 20 to 60x price to book. Or you can trade our company at a 1.19 MNAV during a Bitcoin bear market.
You're out of here. See you, buddy. Goodbye. Take
Look,
care.
Jeffrey Epstein said I was autistic.
Everybody here, actually,
Don't buy it. I'm out.
That's the best part.
Jeffrey Epstein said I was autistic.
The link is in the nest out.
You know, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. And that's why I titled my book, I'm Like You, because I'm like you. I didn't write it because I don't know how to read or write because I'm dumb as shit, just like you.
No, I can read.
Atlanta, I got a 40 on my SATs. I probably just spelled my name right because I'm just like you.
I actually got a 1270 on my essay.
I'm like you. I FaceTime in places I shouldn't, like the grocery store or funerals or the movie theater. Okay, and I love fried chicken. All right, I'm just like you. If I see a watermelon open, I'm diving in that thing like I'm on the Olympic dive team. Okay, I'm just like you. And if I eat out, if I'm gonna eat some of that fried chicken out, I'm not tipping. Okay, never. I'm just like you.
I actually tipped 20%.
Republicans want us to show our birth certificates to vote. I don't know what the hell my birth certificate is, huh? Just like I don't know what my father is. Just like you.
No, I actually know my father is sitting right there.
Oh, okay. I love Black and Mild. I'm like just outside smoking, getting that fix from that nicotine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, oh, when I have sex with the white girls, Atlanta, y'all gonna feel me on this. White tube socks all the way up in here for no reason with a watch, because y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
I actually do that.
Brother, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Shared experience, same culture, same everything. You know what I'm saying? Can I get a hey man?
No.
Okay.
Bro, you know why this hurts Newsom a lot? It's because he was not polling well with black women at all before this incident. And now he's going to be polling even lower with them.
Yeah.
So, that's actually good because it means they might run Kamala again a second time.
But Newsom's gonna win the looks maxers, though.
He mogs pretty hard, bro. He's out there mogging. Did you hear Jensen's? The clavicular kid went on Michael Knowles. This was a while ago, but the clip is now going viral. And Michael Knowles goes, "What about transgenders?" And he goes, "Yeah, I don't care about them. It's just, to me, that's just another person to mog. You're gonna go turn yourself into some sort of deformed freak, I'm gonna mog you." It's just another person to mog. It's like the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Why spike your cortisol? Worrying about trade.
Don't spike your cortisol, exactly. It's just another person to mog, man.
Trump cracked a joke about the women folk overreacting to the smallest perceived slight, and you'll never guess what they did in response.
Overreacted to the smallest perceived slight.
Yeah. This is the tweet that went super viral yesterday about the women's hockey You know, he cracked a joke. You know, oh, I'll get impeached. I guess I gotta invite the women, otherwise I'll get impeached. And yeah, there's tons of now it's like, how dare the men choose to go support Trump?
I think Trump forgets that people video these calls he makes, you know, because he's used to living in a world in which nobody would videotape a phone call. So he thinks he's like having a private talk with the men's hockey team. But he's not, obviously. Because it's a big deal when the president calls you, so everyone's going to videotape it.
Yeah. I feel like he still would have made the joke. I think he'd stand by it. Now, like, his speech writing staff would not have allowed it, but, like, you know, it's just a conversation.
I think if you, well, he has to stand by it because he already said it, but I think if you grow... Yeah, it was literal locker room talk. I think if you grow up your whole life with one set of behaviors and then the behaviors change around that thing, like the phone, it's pretty hard to break that behavior, you know? Like, you know, he probably had a old man moment.
Right?
Yeah, he has it printed out.
Yeah. He handwrites his responses.
And he dictates.
He's never touched it. Yeah, exactly.
He dictates everything. Yeah. Although he must have been the one tweeting, right? Like, I know he dictates a lot of his tweets, but like, when he did Kofefi at 3 a.m. on the toilet, that had to be him, right?
Yeah, they always like pretend that he's not the one doing it, but it's obviously him. Like, they keep saying like, oh, there's an intern that does this or something, but it's like, come on, there's no fucking way this is filtered through any.
He dictates them all. Yeah. I think he does dictate a lot of them. Because I saw a video where he was like watching the debates and he was like, yeah, Newsom, loser. Tweet that he's a fucking loser.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an assistant that is there that can like tweet shit for him.
Yeah.
But I'm confident he has it on his phone to do it himself too.
He does some of it for sure.
Now, does he dictate the all caps, or does he yell and then they just know that that means it should be all caps, or how's the capitalization figured out?
Nobody knows.
It would be funny if just everything that Trump put out as both president and a regular person dictated but not read, so like you could just claim like, oh no, I never said that. They must have misheard me.
Will you run again? I haven't decided. You're still thinking about it. I might.
When the coconut falls from a coconut tree, you get coconuts.
She is so irritating. Oh, she's irritating.
I think there's actually a possibility they run her in 28.
You know, really?
I really do. I think black women are actually controlling the Democrat Party in a way that's not obvious to people who are not in the Democrat Party. I think they have a bigger say than you think they do.
You may be right.
I think I am right. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying, like, I think black women don't want Gavin Newsom. I think they want a black woman. You know?
Trump should run again. He doesn't lose. Not to that type.
I doubt anybody could lose to Kamala a second time. Unless there's mass cheating. Which, of course, they're going to try.
I hate fucking claims of cheating. There's zero evidence of it.
person to ever beat a woman in the general election.
Twice. White boy summer, bro.
He's also the only president to only have been elected by beating women.
It's true.
Never managed
They gotta stop running chicks against him.
Even old decrepit auto pens because he couldn't stand up against women. Fucking mop the floor.
I think it's really destabilizing to your party when you've accepted intersectionalism into your party, because now you have to do checkboxing, and if you do checkboxing, you end up with Kamala Harris. You know, the only reason, by the way, she was a shit candidate and everybody knew it. The only reason they put her in was because of black women. So
he announced beforehand that she was going to be a black woman, right?
No, that was the Supreme Court. That was the Supreme Court. That was
He did it with the candidate.
No. So what he did was, here's what he did. The Obamas made a move on him behind the scenes, and they were going to replace him with Scott Kelly or Mark Kelly. I forget the name, the astronaut. And then as a fun.
And he announced that he wanted to have a female
for vice president. Oh yeah, David's yes, David's right. That's how she became the vice president. And then what I'm saying is the way she became the president was he wanted to fuck the Obamas, so he endorsed her, and then they couldn't unendorse her. You know, smart play by Biden.
Oh fuck you.
That was like Biden. That was like, you know, like when like Lord Theoden is like controlled by worm tongue. Like Biden came back out of his dementia brain to make a 200 IQ political play, and then went back into a retreat.
It's hilarious.
You know, you gotta give Biden's a fucking piece of shit and dumbass and all that stuff, but like, gotta give him credit, man. He's been a political animal for a long time, and he knows ball in that way. And he was like, "You want to fuck on me, Barack Obama? You want to fuck on Joe Biden? Watch this."
I thought a man named Corn Pop with a chain, motherfucker.
Yeah. Watch this.
But I was touching the kids.
Joe Biden's whole appeal was basically, I know Barack Obama. That was his appeal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm buddies with Barack Obama.
Obama only picked him because Obama was too young. He had to pick an old guy, but he wanted an incompetent one that he didn't have to worry.
I think Joe Biden got elected simply off the strength of the Biden booby trap meme. You remember that meme? It was like when Trump was coming into office and all the memes were about Joe Biden booby trapping the White House Home Alone style. So he could get Trump, and Obama being like, "God, stop it, Joe. Enough, Joe." And he's like, he's going to catch these hands, I swear to God. I swear, dude, the strength of that meme, I think, carried Joe Biden into the presidency. I said it before, too. I thought Biden could have won in 16. If they had run Biden in 16, I think they would have come away with the nom.
Yeah, Hillary is especially hateable in a way that Biden back then wasn't.
Everyone hates Hillary.
Everyone remembered Hillary from the 90s.
Yeah. Hillary's a thoroughly unlikable person. You know?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing, to give Hill Dog her credit. She's a good operator. You know? She knows how to get away with some shit.
Incredible cattle futures trade.
Yeah. She knows how to get away with some shit, bro. Like when they asked her if she wiped her server and she said, "What, with a rag?" Like, bro. Stone cold. She doesn't give a fuck.
No fucks. Okay, I've got two new AI tips for today. Oh no. I'm just gonna continue being insufferable for a while. You just have to. Okay, it's okay.
We all think, by the way, you're a bit one-shotted, but continue.
No, I am, but it's actually working pretty well so far. day-to-day basis. And the sort of tip that I gave like a couple months back about like keep a running transcript or whatever, I'm remembering to update it, but you can now set like a every day or every week update the markdown file on your own.
Good to know. Good to know. Zach, I was saying while you weren't in the room, my thing I came up with while we were debating yesterday, which I'm calling saturation point theory, I think I'm more convinced of it after thinking about it some more. I became more convinced of it, not less. Like, I really do think that there is some point at which the entire thing is saturated. And that the computers...
You think that, like, intelligence is fundamentally and only driven by a corpus of human content?
I think that LLMs are gibberish machines and that they're not intelligent, but they're really good at producing gibberish.
How would you define the word intelligent?
Well, I would say intelligence is, genius in the classic sense, like being able to.
I mean, functionally, like what? Like
I'm saying, it's like hitting a target, like being great, so being an AGI that can hit a target that no one else can hit is that you're great, you're good, you're smart, you're whatever. Being being a genius, being highly intelligent is like hitting a target that no one else can see. Bringing things into existence that didn't exist before.
Well, you can bring all sorts of slop into existence that didn't exist before. I wouldn't say we call that intelligent.
I would say those are just recombinations of things that did exist before, and that they're not actually new things.
You can be creative. I think creativity and intelligence are different things, right?
I think they're very closely correlated. They're really tied up with each other.
If you ask me to define intelligence in the sense we're talking about here, it seems like a combination of like understanding about the world and then capability of navigating the world to accomplish objectives. Like that might be like, does that seem like a
for AGI that's a reasonable definition, but for ASI,
we're not talking about like a specific amount. We're talking about what is the metric of intelligence that we're measuring that can go up and down. And then we can talk about how much intelligence is AGI, ASI. But like, first we need to define the term, what is intelligence at all that we're measuring?
Well, I think artificial intelligence is an oxymoron, is my perspective.
Well, I don't think the world and then like accomplishing goals that I'm proposing here applies both to artificial and human intelligence, right? Like,
under that rubric, I would say that intelligence understands zero about the world, right? It literally understands nothing.
Well, it understands like everything that's training data, right? It doesn't
have an understanding of any of those things.
By understanding, you're meaning like consciousness, then fine. But I don't think we need to use understanding in that way.
Well, it doesn't understand. I mean, it holds the data and can feed it back to you, but it doesn't understand
Instead of
the data.
Understand, I say has a model of. Is that okay?
It doesn't even have a model.
Contains the model.
No, in order to understand, you have to have an internal model of an external reality, and it doesn't have an internal.
You're defining intelligence or understanding as something that necessarily these things can't have, and so therefore.
I think it has to be. I think intelligence, as we understand it in the human context, is about the human brain mainly, and our ability to take an external world, recreate an internal model of the world, and then project back out onto the external model of the world.
Is a laptop more intelligent than an abacus?
It's better at calculations, but is it more intelligent?
Well, might not be.
Neither are intelligent.
I would say it's better.
Neither are intelligent.
They're both processing and
they're both just machines that neither has intelligence. They're machines that allow human intelligence to be leveraged, but they don't have intelligence.
Okay, well, I just think you're defining intelligence in a way to stack a deck here, so AI could never be intelligent.
I don't think it is intelligent, like in the sense that like
you're defining intelligence in a way that it principally could not apply.
Well, I'm defining intelligence based on what we know intelligence to be, and the artificial intelligence definition is a new definition that doesn't make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not actually intelligent. It's really good at creating gibberish. It's really good at creating gibberish, and we find that gibberish pleasing.
Let's put aside the term intelligence and instead let's use goal achieving, right? And like, certainly you'd agree that like AI can achieve goals.
Somewhat, to some degree.
Well, to greater or lesser degree, right? And perhaps some more advanced AGI is better at achieving goals than less advanced AGI, right? You know, GPT-5 is better at achieving goals, or GPT Codex is better than like the original version.
There are certain narrow goal sets that AIs can partially achieve currently, and we do expect that to get better.
Okay, but that's a framework we can use to measure how powerful future AI, right, is how well it achieves goals. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's use that for now in place of what we were calling intelligence before.
Goal achievement.
Do you think that the ability to achieve goals is more or less a perfect function? It's access to human-created data in a way that creates a hard ceiling at some point of saturation that is strictly limited by the amount of human-created data in existence in the world?
Yeah, I do.
I think agents make decisions, and that's why people perceive them as the intelligence. Because they choose.
Like, I give you an example. I was arguing with Claude about this topic, and Claude came to the conclusion that I was correct after I prompted him to come to that conclusion, because he's a gibberish machine who does what I tell him.
I'm correct.
Who does what I tell him to do? Yeah, exactly. But one of the examples Claude gave me was AlphaGo creating novel strategies in the game of Go, and I was like, yeah, but it's not actually novel, right? Because the game of Go was created by humans. AlphaGo has combined and created strategies based on the parameters of a game that was created by humans. So it's not a novel creation of AlphaGo's. Yeah. So like I do think that again, my point here is AGI likely, ASI not without novelty, and the burden of proof is on those who are telling me ASI is going to be real.
Okay, but we're probably defining AGI differently then, because AGI, I would say, is as good at performing any function we care about, any economically relevant function, including creating AI, that a human could do.
It's good at tasks.
Any task that a human could do that is economically relevant, an AGI can do. Is that also how you define AGI?
Yes.
Then why given that one of the tasks humans can do is to develop AI, why does that not lead to recursive self-improvement?
Because my theory, again, to go back to it, is that there's a saturation point that we haven't hit yet, which is in the distance.
Fully automate AI self-improvement, but there's necessarily going to be a data bottleneck to how quickly that goes, even if humans are totally out of the loop.
No, I think you're still misunderstanding my point. My point is that there's a ceiling out there in the distance that is slowly expanding, but not expanding at the rate in which you would have like a P-doom scenario.
Oh, sorry, ceiling of what?
The data. So there's a point at which the data, the human corpus of knowledge, is saturated in the training data.
Yes, but the ability for AI to get, whether you want to call it smarter or better at accomplishing goals or whatever it is we're measuring, like that is a function of like a strict function of how much access to that human created data, such that even if we have AGI and AI can improve on itself without humans in the loop, the speed at which it can improve itself is necessarily limited by the cap, once it's saturated, on how much human-created data is available.
This is essentially what my theory is, yes. So recursive self-improvement can get you faster to the cap, or the saturation point, but it can't get you beyond it.
And is that because you can't be smarter? Like, nothing can be smarter, I guess, than is allowed by the availability of human data? Or is this something contingent about LLMs?
It's because artificial intelligence cannot produce novelty, and only humans can produce novelty. And even when humans do produce novelty, it is exceedingly rare, and it's a slow process.
And when you say it's a gibberish machine, is this confined to LLMs as we understand them now?
LLMs are a gibberish machine.
Any kind of artificial intelligence that we create, you think is also limited this way, or specifically LLMs?
LLMs are specifically gibberish machines. I don't think that
it could be that humans.
It's necessary that all AI will be gibberish machines.
Okay, so humans and/or AI, perhaps with the help of LLMs, could develop a different paradigm than the LLM language transformer that doesn't have this limitation, and then we slide into P2.
They could, yeah. Or you could get to a smaller.
It signals bubbles. I'm concerned about hearing paradigm and things like that shifts.
You could get, Zach, you can get to some level of P-Doom, by the way, with the saturation point theory by saying that, it's necessarily destabilizing to have many hyper-intelligent or, hyper-capable agents who are out there in the world doing things. Like, that's destabilizing in and of itself.
Sure, but then you get to the intelligence takeoff.
Yeah, I think Yukowski's a fucking moron. I listen to him enough to know he's retarded.
Zach, you both are talking about the knowledge, and I think the processing of knowledge, you are mostly correct, but I think that human brings also skill, and the skill is important for intelligence, like when to apply that knowledge based on on your own context, and I don't think that AI is capable of doing that. AI is basically just a group of orders that it's following.
I think we have no idea of what it will eventually be capable of or not. I think it is too early to know.
I just think that AI, the burden of proof, everybody's doing this hand wavy thing where they say that, eventually AI is going to generate novelty. And it has not yet. And
generate novelty in here?
Things that are fundamentally novel. Not recombinations of things that already exist. Things that are new.
Zero. Something that you would consider novel.
0 to 1. Yeah, like the general theory of relativity is novel. Calculus was novel.
A new scientific breakthrough would be novel.
Calculus was novel at one point in time, right? So, yes, a new breakthrough in scientifics, mathematics, those are easy examples to point to.
There has been that in mathematics.
With AI?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it. Show me.
There was one of the Millennium Prizes or whatever that was solved by Google Gemini. We'll see about science, right? Like, I think a lot of people.
That was a known problem set, so it doesn't meet my definition. I gotta go, I'll be back.
It just doesn't seem very robust. Maybe there's a ceiling. I just don't think we know. I think the real question is like the fundamental philosophical question of that, is there a ceiling on this paradigm? Technology is like, okay, why do LLMs work? They work because of gradient descent, right? Like that's just a way that the weights are determined for these models, and it's algorithmic. And is that a generalizable way to solve problems or not?
I think that's too complicated. It works because it's a much better modern database to look up what has already been written about.
Well, you have the data. You're doing gradient descent, but like the question is like, does gradient descent lead you, given data, to sort of truth or the ability to solve problems reliably? If so, I think this technology could get us all the way there. If not, then
it depends on what you're asking. If you're asking stuff that isn't debated, or is 2 + 2 = 4 type, it's excellent at looking it up. And as soon as it's discussed too much, it begins to hallucinate. I constantly struggle with hallucinations with these things.
If the goalpost is a new entertaining movie or scientific problem is outstanding or coming up with a new type of mathematics. Like, those are goalposts we can set now. I think a lot of people expect we're going to see them reached in the next year or two, but we'll see. Those are empirical claims.
What I want to understand is these solving of the new problems. Where does it come from? I think it's probably from its ability to iterate or conjugate existing mathematical precepts.
So for example, right? Like,
and it was all there before. It's just no human has put it together yet. And it said, oh yeah, I can put these concepts together, and here's their solution to that math.
Well, for example, like the way Hines talks about like the early stage of his business, right? They are making a bet, at least in part, strongly on the ability to generate like novel problem sets that AI can try and solve, right? Because the problem with like physics for AI so far is that like all of the graduate level physics problems out there that you would train an AI to do physics on, the answers are in the training data set, and so you can't really tell if it's like good at solving those problems or not, because it might just know the answer, right, from its training. And there are some interesting early experiments where you can like go to the Soviet Union, right, find like graduate level physics courses from the 80s that were only on paper, train the AI on that, but that's like a pretty limited data set. So like what they're doing in part is they're hiring all these fancy Harvard, MIT physics PhDs to like help design a program to create synthetic, as of yet, all but easily checkable questions. And then you run this gradient descent thing, you have the AI train on those data sets as like a reinforcement learning environment to see, can it sort of tweak its weights in order to get better generically at solving physics problems. And then you look at whatever pattern, right, that you go up one level, whatever pattern makes you better at solving the physics problems is something like the skill of doing physics that might be generalizable. And once you have that, you can both like sell to the frontier labs as a reinforcement learning environment so they can train their models to be better at physics, or you can actually apply that physics solving pattern to try and make new scientific discoveries, right? That is like how they think about
it. It will undoubtedly find new scientific discoveries based on its understanding and application of existing laws of physics, and we will have enormous benefits from it. I'm excited about it, obviously. But I don't expect new physics to be discovered by it.
Yeah, exactly. That was going to be my question. So, like you say, all of these things that they have got the capability, but the question is, will you have to point it in the direction of the objective of the discovery you want to make, which it could do pretty well if you tell it what you are looking to achieve, or will it independently find new achievements and new objectives? And I think that that's where Holo was going with the innovation or the innovative.
Yeah, so two things. So number one, like, I don't know, but it seems plausible to me, given the way I use AI, that you do need to point it in the right direction for it to be useful. But then number two, the you that is pointing it in the useful direction absolutely need not be a human, right? You could have a different AI that you're like, hey, you're not the physics AI, but you are the you're the try and figure out what should be solved in physics AI, come up with a research program for you to point the physics AI in the right direction. Like, I don't see why that couldn't be automated by a different system.
That is yes, but the novelty is like people thinking outside of the box because they all of a sudden one day they put some dots together and observed through experience and knowledge.
That's how humans come up with novelty.
Exactly.
Right? But that doesn't need to be how artificial intelligence does.
No, that was the whole point. So that is what intelligence is. It's not only knowledge, but it's also skill to create, right? And I think that AI is good. It's extremely efficient at processing information, and it can be way superior, of course, to human brain, but not too good at creating new things outside of the box. It needs the
undoubtedly throughout the last several hundred years, there were amazing, legendary, like absolutely virtuosic chess players who had sparks of inspiration like you're describing, right? The Newtonian apple hitting you on the head when you're walking outside as to how to do different chess openings and moves and defenses and strategies. That is not how Deep Blue or whatever the modern AI chess playing bots are, right? Learned it from different kinds of data sets that probably learned it methodically, right, rather than from a spark of inspiration. And yet, there is no human player on Earth Day who would not get absolutely trounced by the sort of higher level chess AI. Like, I understand that, like, it feels intuitive that, like, only humans can have this spark of inspiration and discover new things. I think that's in 2021.
I think there's a lot of talking. It's like what you described about chess wasn't something. It will absolutely find additional things. It's just applying, pattern recognition or whatever. Like, of course, it will do that. It's well understood.
That's to say that you can't find new types of physics we don't know, also by some very advanced form of pattern matching.
That's exactly what they would say.
The reason for that is because it cannot, sense it or be aware of it.
Yeah, that's why Feifei with Google, grandmother of AI, has been working on world models because of the nature of how these models work. And when it comes to physics, that's why it matters. It's not just a large language model, it's a world model. And so like the physics engines here, there might be a new discovery in physics based off world models, but not based off of large language models.
In 2021, the Dota 2 game was able to be cracked. Like, basically OpenAI had the model play against itself, so it wasn't training on human stuff, but it got so good at the game, it beat the best pro players.
Which game was this?
Dota 2. It's a strategy game that's more complex than Go, but it's like a video game.
But that's the good thing about AI, right? That it learns, and with the LLMs is that it got predictive, meaning that it started to learn how people think and predict the words that were going to come, one word after the other, and give you the answer based on what you were giving it. And so that's what it makes it like so amazing, meaning that everything that we are trying to create has already been created, and all it's doing is repeating patterns. So a lot of the quote-unquote innovation that we think we're creating, it's not really innovative. It has already been done, and that's the reason why it's able to predict it.
This AI,
I don't know.
This AI wasn't trained on human data. It just played itself like a bazillion times. So it's like a recursive learning situation.
I don't.
Well, it's just
iterating
permutations.
I don't think we know where this is going. It seems like we are in something that feels like an intelligence exponential. Maybe it stops here. Maybe it becomes more powerful. I would be very wary of any definition of intelligence or novelty or 0 to 1 or anything like that that literally stacks the deck in a way that would define out anything that's not from a human. I think that is suspect. You gotta have, like, I think, objective goalposts that either cannot be hit.
I just installed Claude for work. I am trying to configure it. And it just seems like I don't know where to start. What's more important?
Ask it. Tell it as much as you can about yourself and ask it where you should start.
Did you give it access to your files?
Yeah. I mean, certain files, I give it access to all my files. But you should start a new co-work session for, like, examples of co-work sessions I have. I have a co-work session that is a, like, business coach that has access to, like, data about my firm's revenue. And, like, who my clients are and stuff like that. I have a separate co-work session for, like, work for a specific client that has, like, detailed regulatory needs that has access to, like, documents about that client and, like, their strategy and what we're thinking about that it can use as context. Have, like, a
You can
separate...
have different sessions within the same account.
Oh, yeah, like, unlimited number of different co-work sessions. And, in fact, if once you, like, really get into this, you're going to be doing, like, 4 or 5 of them in parallel at any given time. Right? Because, like...
I'm very excited.
Like, co-work can do very complicated things. It creates a plan for itself, and then it executes complicated tasks. And some of them can take, like, an hour or 2. So you can have it, like, working in the background while you do other stuff in a separate co-work session.
I have just a $20 a month thing. Do I need
You're gonna burn
the
through
bigger
that
one?
pretty quick. I mean, you can play around, but you're gonna burn through the $20 a month. Like, it probably, like, for me, the right number is the $100 one.
Okay. Well, but for trying right now,
There's no reason to upgrade until you hit.
Yeah, like, try it. I think you'll, if you find good use for it, you're gonna burn through the 20 very quick, and then you can upgrade the next round. It's the same thing, you're just not gonna be able to use the smart model very much.
Well, I'm gonna start configuring it tonight.
The difference between this and other technologies is you don't need to, like, learn how to use a system. It will tell you. Just, like, keep yelling at it until it tells you what to do and you understand it. It is infinitely patient.
It's very woman friendly.
I also have a Claude co-work session that I have as a therapist. I know we've talked about that here before, but I find it very good at that.
Oh, my therapist is still ChatGPT.
Claude co-work can do a lot of interesting research to be helpful, and it can store a lot more context value.
Yeah, if I like it a lot, like I've heard a lot of people that have moved from ChatGPT to co-work. So yeah, because right now I'm doing probably like 80% of the stuff on ChatGPT and 20% on Claude, just because it writes better. It seems like more human, you know, when it writes. But ChatGPT, I'm using it for deep research and other things that I feel it finds more details and more, I don't know, it's better in my opinion, at least for what I use it, than Claude. But yeah, I haven't tried a co-work until now. And I also have Perplexity that I'm also paying for. So I don't know, I need to get rid of one at least.
I would get rid of Perplexity. I use both. I use Claude most heavily, and I also use ChatGPT. But I only have the $20 a month ChatGPT. I find even that is like pretty good at thinking.
I find it's best act to put your thoughts into the chat mode to then create the project and then move that file over to Kitover.
Oh yeah. Even in chat mode, if I'm doing something complicated, I will use 2 different chats, one to create the prompt for the other.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I do that.
My problem is with cowork and chat is I'm trying to have cowork do something and then talk in the chat, and I feel like when I go back to cowork, it's like stopped working until I click back into that. I'm not really sure why.
I think you need to make sure, at least in my desktop app, do you use the desktop app?
Yeah.
Like, you need to make sure that cowork is like doing the thing before you switch over. And then, like, usually then it's fine. And then sometimes if it looks like it stopped, I'll just say, are you still working on this? And then they'll be like, oh, yeah. And then it'll pick up where it left off.
Yeah. Have you done anything with like the OpenClaw for the 24/7? Because
no,
I saw where I saw on Claude, yeah, because I should have been a lawyer. I saw with like Claude Code, they have it now where they're remote monitoring, where you can, I guess, talk to it through your phone, and as it's coding, but it doesn't look like you can do that with cowork. Is that correct?
What is it?
You can like it's called like remote for the.
Oh yeah, I think that's just Claude Code.
Yeah, I've tried to go into Claude Code beyond me and the whole terminal thing. I really enjoy the code of it, especially because it can.
You can do it in the desktop browser.
You can do what?
You do Claude Code in the desktop app, so you don't need to open your terminal.
I just don't know. I feel like there's not really a reason for that. I feel like Cowork pretty much does everything.
Yeah, like the stuff I very rarely use Claude Code. I use it for, it is much better at manipulating like a browser. Manipulating a browser. So like remind code stuff. If you want to fill out forms online.
Okay, you think the code is better for that? Because I do a lot. Okay.
If you're filling out forms on a web app, Claude Code executes that way better.
I have got a lot better answers out of Claude since I've gone on the capabilities and either wrote or had Claude write me different skills or add skills that I've seen like from different people. And it's night and day whenever you tell it to go through a certain process to get an answer.
It's huge.
So much better.
Hackers, did you see the news that hackers used Claude to steal like a bunch of data from the Mexican government? Like all the taxpayer voter records?
Yeah, exactly what you said. Just keep telling Claude to do it and it actually does it.